Hi. All right.
Goodness. All right, here we go. What's up, Brandon?
What's happening, man?
Taking it one day at a time.
Scratching and surviving, as it were.
I'm kind of bummed though because I just I was getting in my car and I use my Apple CarPlay daily.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who doesn't. Whenever you have access to that type of technology,
I use Spotify.
that's Apple Music versus Spotify. Yes.
Sure.
I'm talking about like Apple CarPlay. When you connect your phone to the car.
Duh. Yeah, I do the same thing. Carry on.
But choose your music listening platform, whatever. No judgment.
And actually, this isn't an ad for any of those.
Yes,
by the way, so.
no, yeah.
Though, if you want to, never mind.
Sure. But no, so I was like super bummed. I'm like, oh man, like how can I see my maps? Da, 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 da. And then I started thinking of like, back in the day,
Yeah.
I didn't have no maps, like other than paper map.
Yeah. And then it was MapQuest.
MapQuest.
Yeah.
Let me tell you a story. I went to let me tell you a little story. I just started driving and my dad has had this truck for forever. It's like his favorite thing. He loves it more than he loves us. At least we think it that
This
sometimes.
is your third kid.
Basically, obviously our father loves us dearly. That's, anyway.
He just also loves the
He
truck.
just also loves his truck. Yeah. Well, here I am. I'm driving his truck, and I had just started driving. I was maybe like 18 years old, and I was tasked with picking my brother up from school.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know how to get there. I knew how to get there from a certain location,
Right.
but I wasn't leaving from that location.
Man, it gets tricky.
And I was like, well, that street looks familiar. That street name, I know that street name. You know what? Let me just make a right turn on it. There was no reason other than I was in the right lane. I'm going to make a right turn. I started going down, end up getting to my brother, who is a little anxious. I love my brother, but he's a little anxious sometimes. But he, like an hour after school had let out,
Ooh.
he was looking at me like, where have you been? And I was like, I was lost. And so I'm like getting in, I'm turning in. Crazy story. So we were not planning. I was not planning to tell the story. So crazy story. I'm turning into like the pickup space. And my dad's truck, it's like an F-150, 1996. It's really big. I'm, again, first starting out how to drive. I'm turning in. I don't make the turn well. And I hit the post that held up like the sidewalk cover. I was like, get in, jump in the truck. We're not stopping. Go. Oh my gosh. But yeah. And funny enough, when I graduated college, I started teaching at that school, and they still had that little dent in that post.
Oh, man. Did you sign it? You
No.
should have signed it.
No, I'm forever innocent. So allegedly, this has happened.
I mean, I was about to say, this kind of works as a confession.
No, alleged. But yeah, I am super bummed that I'm not going to have my map on the screen and easy to read. But it's definitely a piece of technology I've gotten used to these days. What's a technology that you grew up with that you kind of miss though?
Oh, that I miss.
Or you think of fondly?
Walkmans, man, like with the cassette tape.
That cassette tape, yeah.
Like it's something about like, I think last episode we were talking about like tactile things.
I like the buttons.
The buttons, man. Like
here, click. Yeah. Yeah.
That joint, man. Oh my gosh. So, what I love about like our generation,
Sure.
millennials, the greatest generation.
The best.
What I love about our generation is that like there's an appreciation of like vintage tech,
I have a vinyl player.
Yeah,
I
me
love
too.
LPs. Yeah.
Yeah, like and just like the haptics of certain things.
Yes.
And the feel. And so like with touch screens, I kind of miss anything with actual buttons.
Yes.
Mark brought out that rotary phone, and I was like, yes, I used to play with like
I just loved running it. Yes. I, that's the thing that I hate too about the new cars. The new cars like don't have like a lot. Well, some of them are bringing them back because people have complained enough. But like there's no actual buttons, and
Right.
they don't even have like a gear shifter anymore.
Right, which is
What
one of
in
the
the
main
world?
reasons I got into driving.
I like just
For
feeling
either or only thing that I
true
that I
story.
appreciate is like I don't like this. I don't like this for the window. That hurts
Yeah.
my shoulder after a while. Like I grew up where it was like really really hard sometimes. So
Yeah,
like,
you're like,
you got to use both
come
hands,
on,
and if you got to
man.
use both hands, that's a horrible.
And if it's like an emergency situation, you're like, I just can't get the window down fast enough.
Yeah.
Anyways, but the one thing I appreciated of
Mm-hmm.
like the graduation from cassettes into CD players was the ability to skip,
Oh yeah,
like to skip a song,
yeah.
or
'Cause
put a
you-
song on repeat.
Yeah, before that you would have to fast forward.
Yeah, and then
And
you're
you'll,
like,
you'll
"Ah,
overshoot it.
yeah, gotta bring it back. Oh, dang.
I overshot it in the
But-
middle of the next song.
I will say I got to a point where I could memorize the cassette tapes, like how far the tape was over onto the right or to the left,
You advance.
to figure out where the song was starting that I wanted to listen
Nice.
to. That I think is one of those ADHD superpowers because I was
Yeah.
like locked in.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you know what I miss? I miss like those dual, like cassette players, like where you can like double record.
Yeah,
Oh my
buddy.
gosh, that was my first recording studio.
Look.
Like I kid you not, like I'll record my vocals on this, put that tape in here, play that back, and then I'll stack my vocals on top of that, put it over.
Okay.
First recording studio.
I didn't do
man.
any of that because I wasn't like savvy enough to do it.
I was like, run it back. I was like, I remember telling my cousin who also enjoyed rapping, I was like, yo, we ain't ever got to pay for studio time.
I got it.
Actually, I never have because I learned like that was like the seed.
the beginning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the beginning of it.
Goodness.
But yeah,
I prefer like analog so much. Like when I was in college as a voice student, if you're studying music, you should record every single lesson that you're in, just putting it out there. And so I would have my little cassette player. I had like, everybody else had like an MP3 recorder, and it was like, tiny, really easy to like travel with.
yeah.
And I hated it. I was like, I don't even know how it works. I was like, I'm not tech savvy at all. Like, I went and bought like a cheap $10 like cassette recorder situation. It looked like a lunchbox. So I was carrying it around, especially the first 2 years or so. Goodness. Man, technology has really come a long way.
Yeah, man, this is crazy. I found out like, and I don't know how it worked. It was some freak of nature type accident that we discovered, but it was like you could record vocals on a VHS cassette tape. And we were just in the living room, me and my 5011 siblings. And
11.
we hit record, and I don't know if it was something the way that my stepdad like set up the the sound system.
Sure.
But we played it back, and it was like, yo, that's us. That was crazy.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Oh my
hearing
gosh.
yourself for the first time. It's a little wild. Goodness. Yeah, technology has definitely come a long way, and it's no longer just like the cherry on top to living. It's become like the cake. Like
Yeah.
it's so central to like how we live our lives. It's so like wrapped up in our daily living. Like we wear wearables. I mean, it's not my phone because I ain't got it like that. But it tells me, girl, you need to get up. You've been sitting down for too long.
Right.
Stand up. Yeah. Like it's, our work is on our phones,
Yeah.
like family connections on our phone. Like everything is on our phone. Social media is on our phone. Everything is on there, and everything we feel so connected because of it.
True. Yeah.
Or one could argue it's like not really true connection. What
It's
do you
different
think about that?
connection.
Okay.
It's different connection. Like, cause I don't want to discredit the connection that people make using technology. there are people who found their life partner through technology.
I mean,
You
we
know,
met on a dating app
you know
for
what I mean?
sure. Yeah.
So I think to discredit it and say that it's a lesser form of connection, I think it's pretty unfair. But I do think
Well,
that technology is a double-edged sword. I think we have like whether it was decisions that we've made or decisions that were made for us, we're in a position right now that we can't live without certain pieces of tech.
right,
You
right.
know, I remember there was a time where I could leave my phone behind and like not go into like cold sweats.
What if something happens?
Right?
What if I need to get hold of somebody? Which
You
is,
know,
it's totally normal. Like, I mean, like we were talking about this earlier with other staff. Like some parents out there, like if they don't have their child with them, they need to have their phone on them just in case an emergency actually does happen.
yeah.
Like that's they're that emergency contact.
I mean, but like we've made this piece of technology, the smartphone, we've made it indispensable. We can't leave it behind, for reasons like that. But even when I was in the military, like
Yeah,
I couldn't leave my phone behind. It's too much stuff on there.
true. Yeah.
Don't ask me to remember a phone number. I can't. Like I've traded that ability because the phone does it
I've
for
made
me.
space for other things,
Yeah,
like a random like
it's a cognitive
lyric.
load that I don't need or have anymore. I mean, I probably need it, like I think,
Sure.
but I think that's where we get to. It's like, okay, how much have we traded away for convenience? And at what point do we decide to, you know what, I need to gain these skills back.
Right.
So in order to gain these skills back, that means I got to change the relationship I have with my phone or with my tech.
And that's what I mean by like a difference in the type of connection that
Sure.
you're making on social or like your social media, phone, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Because even we met on a dating app, my husband and I, but we still had to meet in person
Yeah.
eventually.
Yeah.
Like we couldn't just keep just texting each other.
It's like, how about we just do life online?
Like that's not. I mean, that some people are forced into that decision, but that's not.
Yeah, but those people don't necessarily want to be in that position.
Right,
It's like,
exactly. That's not
they're
the
kinda-
desired like outcome for things. And what I have found, and this is not what we talked about at all before we started this, but what I have found that social media, with social media and the technology that comes with that, like we have lost the ability to have real conversation with people in real life. And so when I say real conversation, like if we're friends on Facebook, I should be able to have like a hard conversation with you. I mean, if I'm not going to disagree, I'm not going to agree with everything that you post on there. And that's okay. Like, but people, instead of saying, "Oh my gosh," I mean, I disagree with this person. Let's have a conversation in person. I think. I mean, if you live in the same city, like let's set some time together. We're friends, not just on social media, but in person. Like, I think we should sit down and talk because something you posted was a bit concerning for me. I'm not saying I've done this well in the past.
Yeah, I mean, because I don't think people put the same value of friendship, like their Facebook friend versus their, in real life friend, because not everybody, have the same policies with their digital friends.
Yeah.
Like I know people who only friend people that they know in real life on Facebook,
Right.
which I think is a good policy.
Yeah.
But then there are some people who
Use it for networking. Like,
they use it for
they're connected to
networking.
somebody else.
Sometimes it's a a dopamine hit. It's like, look at all these people, my friends. I got like
I'm friends with
2K friends and plus,
Right. Yeah.
and so it becomes more like a social status, and now if you ask like how many of these people you know in real life, it's like, well, probably like 5.
But even still, like, like, I think that if you're just friends with somebody because you just wanted to add another number to your friend list and you see something that you disagree with, you just choose to mute that person.
Yeah.
It's a skill, like the skill of conversation, the skill of discussion, the skill of disagreements.
Yeah.
I just completely left.
Yeah. I'm sorry, and I cut you off.
No, you're good.
I think that like oftentimes, like for me, I don't think that strong disagreements, or like especially with people that you know, I don't think Facebook and on the internet is the best place for those
No,
at
it's
all.
not.
Like, cause
It
and
never is.
even text messages. I hate when people have like tough conversations via text, because I'm like, it's so much of the information that you're missing that you
Mm.
get, like body cues, like just like
Yeah.
unspoken context, like where you
Mm-hmm.
can just see
Nonverbal
like nonverbal
communication.
communication,
Yeah.
like how you say certain things. Like I'm from the South. It's not always like what you say, it's how you say it.
Come on.
You know what I mean? And so like it's just so much information that you miss just from a text message, and
Yeah.
and also how you are feeling emotionally in any given moment can influence how you're reading it, you know?
Yeah.
Well,
Absolutely.
I know that's true for me. Like if I'm in a messed up situation, or if
Excuse
if
me.
I feel some type of way, um, I can read. You can say like, "Well, have a nice day," and you really mean it.
And you're like,
But like for
well,
me,
have a nice day. That's
well,
how
you
you read
have
it.
a nice day.
Instead of, well, have a nice day.
I hope you have a better day, partner. So,
No, yeah, like it basically, it's this idea that technology becomes a mediator for all of our
mm,
type of community, whether it's how we're reading it in a text, how we're
mhm.
interacting with it in a post or things like that, instead of like, I mean, even if their intent was to be like, well, have a nice day, boom, like you
Mhm.
don't can't even click the phone down anymore. Like you can't
Oh,
hang up
that's
on
what I
folk
miss.
anymore.
Oh, I miss flip
Um,
phones. Gosh, for that
man,
reason.
it's a hard snap.
It's like a slap.
Yeah. But like y- we don't even say like, well, did you truly mean for me to have a nice day? Or you being facetious? Like are you
Hmm.
just like being snarky about
Yeah, we're
things?
we're not curious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's I think what develops deeper, more meaningful community.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I've had moments where I'll take a hiatus from like a social media platform. And what I perceived as true connection, even with people I like with people that I know, like
Hmm.
in person and online, um, um, it's not really when it's not as real of a connection because oh well, of course I know what so and so is going on in her life because she's posting about it. But when you
Oh
take
yeah.
that hiatus,
Hmm.
you're like, I don't know what's going on in anybody's life unless
Hmm.
I reach out and call them and
Yeah.
say, "Hey, how's it going? What's
Hmm.
going on?" or text, whatever. And still, I mean, so yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy how we've kind of the intent for a social media platform to be connections with people became our only type of connection with some folks.
Yeah. And then when COVID happened, right? Like that's
Goodness.
we saw the breakdown of that.
Yeah.
Where you find out like, oh, this isn't enough.
Right.
Like depression shot through the roof.
Skyrocketed.
Because people found out like even loners, right? Like found
Yeah.
out like, oh, I need connection. I need to be in a room with
With people.
somebody, with people, even if I'm not like, oh my gosh, even if I'm not like an extrovert,
Mm-hmm.
I would rather be in a corner, people watching, but just in a room, in a room with others, than just kind of be in my room, and like nowhere to go. Like at the very least, I was able to just be out in nature, but I can't go anywhere. I can't do anything. I can't
Yeah.
speak to anyone.
Right.
It's crazy.
Yeah. As well.
So like just
I think
yeah.
COVID also just kind of like heightened how our algorithms work as well.
Hmm.
I mean, it was always there. We were always seeing like, oh, well, maybe you like this or people you might know this person since you're
Hmm.
friends with this person or you follow that account or whatever. Maybe you're interested in these kinds of things, but with our like heightened um time on social media on our phones,
Hmm.
like the algorithms just went like double time. I feel like. I mean,
Yeah, like I could see that, and I think, man, we gave these tech companies so much,
so much power.
so much, you know. We we like to think we're in control when we're not, right?
No,
Like
no.
we have a false sense of control, and I think like anything, um, with technology, especially with the algorithm, I think it takes time to train your algorithm in a way that is helpful and not harmful.
But even still, like I even think that that's still like a
Like a fake control.
yeah, fake
Mm-hmm.
control. Like I mean, yeah,
Because you still gotta take breaks from it.
you do. I mean, and you really truly do. As somebody who is always on her phone,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, I love my social media. Like I get my news through there. Like I stay connected with family that's not in this country through
Mm-hmm.
there. Like I mean, and outside of my friends back home in Houston, like I stay connected with those folks through social media,
Yeah.
right? Like, so I'm not dogging it. I'm just
No.
saying, like this idea that we have any kind of say over how these tech companies are using these algorithms
Right.
for us
Yeah.
or with us. I just don't know. I'm not sure it's real.
Yeah. I mean, because like you see anything enough, like you'll start to like. And there's so many ad companies, man, that I've fallen for because like
Hmm.
just because I've seen it
So many
so many
times.
times to where at first I was like, I ain't trying this. I ain't trying.
That's real.
Maybe I'll try it.
Yes. Like
I'm gonna
so.
try it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy it.
I'm a buy.
It's in my cart. It's at the door. Why did I get this?
I
You know
know.
what I
And
mean?
then it's like, oh gosh, like Instagram done got me
Got me
again.
again.
But I mean, that's so real. Like I'm in this fitness journey. I'm like, I love like weightlifting. I love
Mhm.
being in the gym right now. Like it's my happy place. And so like it's like half of my algorithm is like workout routines,
Mhm.
workout memes. Like I'm doing high rocks later this year. It's a hybrid athlete kind of race thing, and so I'm getting all those memes and
Mhm.
information, and then the other half is like Secret Lives of Mormon Wives because like it's you know. I mean,
It's kind of true.
it is like that's just everything.
just
That's the
just
two
conversations
things.
that we've had. Is like, yeah, that checks out. These are things you talk about.
Yeah, those are the things that I talk about, like Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, the gym,
Yeah.
and then like the Christian world that I follow, like the
Mhm.
different Christian thought leaders that I follow, and it continuously like pulls me. And especially when I'm thinking about like my like the people of faith that I follow,
Mhm.
if I follow one person that has that type of ideology about whatever, it's going to keep recommending. So I go further and further and further into that like wave of thinking,
Mhm.
which is, I mean, obviously I like it.
Mhm.
And so like keep it coming. But what it does, it ends up like giving
Narrowing your
me
view.
exactly tunnel vision of like, this is the only way to think about this passage of scripture.
Mhm.
Or, I mean, if I'm not conscious of, oh, well, let me start to think about a little bit more broadly,
Mhm.
understanding a little bit more of church history and like beyond the US, then yeah, it's really easy to get
Sure.
like tunnel vision
Mhm.
and it just leads you into that pipeline
100%.
every time.
Yeah. Yeah, and even speaking from the perspective of someone who had struggled with addiction, like like if you've had any if you trained up your algorithm in a way that was negative, like it's
Yeah.
so hard to come out of addiction when your algorithm is suggesting things that you're trying to break free from.
Right. Oh my gosh.
You know
Yes.
what I mean? And like, and I think that's another, another reason to take breaks and step away from the algorithm and from, screens. Not to
Mm.
mention the constant, like the emitting of constant like just blue
Blue
light,
light. Goodness. Yeah.
which triggers our circadian rhythm,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and so like especially when you're trying to get some good sleep and you can't
Goodness.
sleep, and so the first thing you do is you turn on your phone and like
Right.
your body is just thrown off. You might as well be working night shift,
Yeah,
you know.
exactly. Yeah. It's, they said it on Sunday. Um that like the first thing you do is if you it's kind of like you're looking if you're the first thing you do in the morning is look at your phone.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like looking a bear in the face to start your
Mm,
day. It triggers that fight or flight stressor in your body. Like that's how your body receives
mm-hmm.
this kind of stuff. And so I think when we're much more aware of those, I'm hoping it changes some of our behaviors
Mm-hmm.
eventually. I think it's a
Yeah.
slow, intentional decision making that you have to go through, but because it's like technology is so central
Yeah.
to how we're doing life. Like I'm people. Look, I'm an auntie in like in the spiritual sense of things, like people's kids. I'm their emergency contact. Like if they can't get a hold of their mom, like they call me next, and I'm like, oh Lord have mercy, I need to.
Mhm.
I'm people's emergency contact. I can't
Right.
just be leaving my phone outside my
Bring them
bedroom.
pagers back.
Yeah.
hit me on hit me on my pager. Hit me on the hip. Bow. Like
But
bring them back. That's a technology that we need to bring back, man.
no, we
So
don't.
get
No,
rid
we.
of like boop, boop, boop. Oh, hold up.
Beep, beep.
Hold that thought.
We don't need pages.
Emergency
back.
contact. Man, that's the one piece of
Goodness.
technology that like I kind of looked forward to when I was a
Really?
kid.
Having a pager.
Having a pager, and then like by the time I was old enough to have one, like it was irrelevant technology because
That's because
cell phones are on the up. I was
Goodness.
like, oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, I mean, goodness. So
There's
yeah,
just
like
something
it's
so
just
cool about this. I'm sorry.
I also I remember when I first got a cell phone, the smaller the cell phone was, the cooler the cell phone was.
Yeah.
Like
tell
that was
you,
the thing.
It's marketers, man. They tell you what's cool. And then you
Right.
go get it. And then they was like, get rid of that small cell phone.
You can't even
Yuck.
see the screens.
Get this mini TV.
I was at the theater the other day. I could see the whole conversation happening in front of me on their cell phone
my
because
gosh.
the screen was so big, the text was so big.
Lord.
You're just like, bruh, like, can y'all talk about dinner at another time?
Right.
We're about to, like,
Y'all gonna miss that reservation. Can we get back to in game?
goodness. Anyways, but
Y'all
yeah,
not
like,
gonna make it. This is a 6-hour movie.
it's not gonna work. But anyways, like, yeah, just that idea, like, so I know, like, some idea of like putting boundaries in place for you and your phone is the idea of sleeping with your phone in a different room or things like that. I know that's not everybody's option.
True.
But I know I can definitely advocate for social media hiatus. I haven't done one in a long time. And back in the day, I used to do a hiatus from like all the dating apps because it became a whole dopamine hit kind of situation. So, I definitely think it's good to take breaks from social media platforms.
Yeah. Me and my wife used to do this a lot. Like not so much anymore, but we need to return to it. We used to have this night we would do once a week called Disconnect to Reconnect.
Okay.
And we would send an email to all our friends and family. It's like, hey, if you're trying to get a hold of us, if it's not important, can you wait,
Got
till
it.
tomorrow? Because we're going to take this time to just, detach from technology
And take a weekend or something.
and just take some time to like reconnect with one another.
That's a great idea.
Man, it was so clutch, and it's just, and you can make that time whatever you want it to be. It can be like, you can play board games,
Sure.
you can have a little romantic evening. You can, hey now,
I'm trying to
you
take
can
it a different. This is
You
a
could-
family friendly.
you could go on a
Brandon.
hike. you can go on a hike,
Yes.
anything. I mean, I started there, board games, but hey,
Goodness.
man,
It's real talk. Like I do think it's important to do that. I think that's really cool that y'all. I'm gonna take that to Jermaine. Like, that's one of the things that I admired about him when I first met him. He's in tech, but I mean, he did not keep his phone on him all the time, which at the beginning was a little frustrating because I'm like, bruh, I'm trying to get a hold of you. But he wouldn't. It sounds like is he not interested? Like, what's going on? He ain't answer the phone. But I
Yeah.
found out he just like, yeah, I will purposely leave my phone at the house
Hmm.
so that I can go for a walk and not get connected. Because he was in tech. He was on the screens all the time.
Yeah.
So he knew the importance of like setting it aside and stuff.
Hmm.
So yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's a great idea.
Yeah, man. Just like with any relationship, healthy boundaries, man. I think is key. Whether you
Hmm.
like it or not, we have begun a relationship with technology, and um,
And this is just micro level stuff.
yeah, it's
Like we're
just
just talking about like how it affects our lives personally and
yeah,
putting boundaries in our personal lives with our technology. And I think
hmm
it's gonna have to like you're gonna have to sit with that. Like if you're,
yeah,
you
because you got
know,
to do what you can do, right?
right,
Like
like
if
it's not gonna work for everybody.
yeah,
The
if you
same
can't
thing.
get rid of if you can't step away from your phone because of like very practical needs, then by
Hmm.
all means keep doing what you're doing,
Right.
But like,
That maybe it's I'm not gonna open up Facebook until or whatever your social media platform a preference
right
is.
until I've at least had my morning
At
coffee.
least like, I'm not gonna open it up until noon.
Yeah.
Like just doing something like that can help you start to disconnect from unhealthy
Hmm.
connections with technology.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Because there's a macro level to this.
yeah.
That the boundaries that we really don't have a lot of control over. And we were talking
Hmm.
about this. It's like the justice aspect of technology.
Hmm. Hmm.
Where like these AI,
Yeah.
the
It's the
the
unseen hit.
cultivation of AI making it really difficult for people to have jobs now,
Yeah.
or and will make it much more difficult to have jobs.
Hmm.
And then the idea of data centers, and
Hmm.
so like AI using it for us, not being controlled by it,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like as a creatives, how do we use it as
Yeah. As creatives, how do you use it as a way to not outsource your creativity,
mm-hmm,
but like in a sense co-opt it?
mm-hmm,
How can I use this as a way to enhance what I'm already doing?
yeah,
And so for me, I enjoy cooking, right? And so
mm-hmm,
I'll use it as a way to partner with cooking. Like, I'm not a pit master, but I might be like, hey, so how are my codes looking? Right?
yeah.
Like at what point do I actually start adding food? Like what's the most optimal time to add food to the
Right, right.
fire? Right? Because sometimes like I'll add it too soon or too late, and I'm like
Yeah,
I'm cooking
true
and like my
story.
coals are cool, and I'm like, dang man,
It's taking forever.
it's taking forever. Now I got to add codes, take the food off, and repeat the process. I'm like, this food is not going to be the way I want it if I keep moving it on and off the fire.
Right,
You know?
right. Yeah, like and
So,
sometimes I'm like, man, I'm trying a new vegetable. Good
hmm
gracious. I mean, like vegetables are not I'm not a big fan, but it's like, okay, well, I need to add more veggies to my life. Like, what's the best way to cook this one? I don't even know what this looks. I mean, this
hmm
is Rodikio. Have you seen Rodikio? It looks really cool, man.
I
Anyways,
have not.
uh, look it
Yeah.
up. Really cool looking vegetable. You're like, oh, how do I cook that? And so
Hmm.
you take a picture and upload it AI. Like, tell me what this is and tell me what to do with it. And so
Yep.
definitely ways that AI can be helpful, but yeah, I mean, goodness,
Oh man, even recipes. I was like, I got these ingredients in the house.
this is what's in my fridge.
Like if you're not trying to spend like just money for like because sometimes you have what you need, you just don't know what you're looking at because you're not a professional chef.
Sure, yeah,
Like so it's like, man, I got this, this, and this, and this.
or a mom.
What can I or a mom, right? Like, what can I make with this?
Yeah, because I
You
felt like
know?
my mom always can make something out of nothing in the kitchen.
Yeah, because she had to.
She, I mean, I was in
Y'all
there,
hungry.
feed me, I'm hungry. She's like, wait a minute.
You know?
But no, yeah, true
But
story.
like sometimes like I've been guilty of it. Like I'll have food in the house, but I'm like, I don't see it because it's like I don't know what I
goes
can do with
together.
these. And so I'll go out and I'm like, man, and also I don't feel like cooking, which blinds you.
Tell me about it.
Like I just want a burger that's already done.
Like,
I want a burger that's already a burger.
amount of times I have to tell myself, "Hay comida en la casa." There is food in the house. Don't go out. You don't need to.
Yeah.
But I don't always believe myself.
Hmm.
But yeah, so there are ways that AI can be helpful.
Hmm.
I'm just, maybe because I'm like not as tech savvy as others, I'm just a little less. And I've seen the movies.
Yeah.
I've seen the Terminator. This is
Yeah.
what AI ends up doing.
Hmm.
Like they have told us what AI will eventually do. Like, why do we keep like feeding
Art
the beast?
art imitates life and vice versa. So
Absolutely. Goodness. Oh
yeah.
goodness. Anyways.
I just
So
feel like
like
it's inevitable, and until we get to that point, I might as well just go ahead and make use of it.
I think there's a difference between making use of it versus like
Giving it everything.
I'm just gonna let AI do everything for me,
Hmm.
which again, as a creative, like drives me a little
Yeah,
nuts.
and just even as a thinker,
N-
like
Come
you
on.
don't want to like outsource. Like God has given you a mind and thoughts,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't want to just outsource all of that stuff, man. There's some
Yeah,
really uniquely you things that God has only put inside of
that's
you,
true. Yeah.
and you don't want to just cheapen that by like not even tapping into it or working that muscle.
Right.
Um, so that's why I think like you shouldn't just outsource it all. Like you know, think,
Yeah.
think, have have
Think
a
for
have a
yourself.
have a conversation with it because guess what? It makes mistakes.
It it
It's
does.
not
Yeah.
infallible. And there are people with biases that are training these machines. And
Right.
so
And each AI bot is different.
it's different,
Yeah.
and so do with that information as you
What
will,
you yeah, like
but like
yeah.
don't remove yourself from any of the problem solving, any of the the processes of coming up with anything. Like, yeah,
Yeah, because it becomes a false sense of all knowing.
yeah,
It
you
becomes
have
a
to.
false sense of I know everything now
Hmm.
because I have the information in my fingertips.
Hmm.
W- Well, you have access to a lot of the information, but doesn't
Hmm.
mean that you know how to like digest that information and how to use that
Hmm.
information. But
Yeah.
so
And
it's
and
still
you got to have a policy with yourself. I have a policy of using AI for things that I already know a little bit about.
sure.
That's my policy. Like I don't, I probably won't like unless it's just for like sheer entertainment and fun,
Yeah,
like
curiosity kind of
curiosity or
thing.
whatever. Like I'm not going to be like, "Hey, make me a song about this," and then put that song out as
Well,
if it's mine.
Well, I saw today there was the Sojourners is a magazine that I follow
Mhm.
on Instagram. Speaking of technology,
Mhm.
I saw this morning how like AI, like people are using AI worship music in their churches and in their
Mhm.
quiet time, and
What do you feel about that?
well, I agree with what this the author, like the quote that they pulled from the article is the guitarist from Jars of Clay, which if you're a 90s baby that grew up in the church in the 90s and the early 2000s, hello, we
I've
know a
heard of
little
them.
bit about Jars of Clay.
Mhm.
And and I'm going to misquote him, but he touched on the part of like there's a humanness that like we're going to be missing
Mhm.
with using AI worship music. And like because look, I definitely am big on the passage of scripture that tells us we overcome by the blood of the lamb and the word of our
Amen.
testimony. And what does AI have to say about what the Lord has done for them lately?
Mhm.
And a lot of our worship music is testimony and it's scripture. And I mean,
So
I think there is a human
about to
connection.
pull up the
Hold on
umbrella.
now, because I'm about to toss some stones at you. I'm just joking. I am a worship leader. I'm a worship pastor. I have been leading worship for a long time. I've been leading
Mhm.
worship for almost 22 years at this point.
Mhm.
I don't look like what I've been through. Hey,
Hello.
I hope not. At
That's the
least.
Bible I know.
But like and there is something about the human connection
Mhm.
with which we lead worship from
Mhm.
and the human interaction with God that impacts how we write our music.
Mhm.
And when it's not coming from that very real experience with the divine, it just makes it where's the depth to it?
Hmm.
Like today's Christian music and worship music, like we can argue back and forth about the theological, um, you know, inaccuracies or accuracy of it, or like what's missing, what do we want choir music back? That's always going to be, there's always going to be an argument about what type of worship music should be in our spaces. But I think I can and we can go back and forth about it, but I feel like there's a good, for me at this point in my life,
Sure.
there is a hard line for me about using AI music in worship spaces, where I don't know if I think it's appropriate.
Yeah, I can agree within corporate worship spaces. I can agree with that. Um, when it comes to individual spaces and how a person personally engages,
Hmm.
um, I don't think that, like, now given, I don't think you should completely swap one for the other. Like, I don't
Sure.
I think that there should always be a place for organic, authentic expressions of worship from a person who has the breath of life in them,
Hmm.
right? Um, but I because as someone who has played AI music in their, like, in my
In
work
your quiet
area, in my
time,
quiet time, like,
as you're staying focused, doing work.
as
Yeah.
a yeah, and what I've played has been edifying
Sure.
because of my story and how I connect to scripture
Sure.
and how I connect to music,
Yeah.
you know. And so I do think that is a very personal thing that you can't say, like, oh, if you're listening to AI worship music, then you're doing it
Doing it
wrong.
wrong.
Because all
Sure.
of creation reflects God's glory, right? That's everything that is made. There's nothing that has been made that is made that has been made outside of God's say so, right? Like all things are made through him and persist through him, right? Like, so, huh?
I mean, yeah,
Like,
look,
is AI created?
by humans.
Yeah, who were made by God. Scripture, the writing, the alphabet
I
were made
mean,
by
sure.
people,
Yeah.
So I think, there's nothing that we use that God hasn't made through people, using people,
Yeah.
right?
I
Other
mean,
than, like, nature, like, but, like, people that put their hands even on that. We got GMO food and all that stuff that we consume, and
goodness. Yeah.
all type
We
of
can go
things.
down that.
Not to say that, like, that's the most healthiest thing, but
Sure.
it exists, and it also solves problems in places like there are food deserts, that, like,
Sure.
so
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. Like,
Like,
yeah.
you can get into it, but it's just, I don't know if I'm willing to just be like, oh yeah, you listen to AI that's made by man, and you can't worship to that.
Well, I'm
Yeah,
definitely not saying that you can't worship to that. What I'm saying is that there's just a lack of human engagement with even how that's being written.
sure,
Like
sure, because it's taking from just
it's
a lot of,
exact.
it's nothing, or it's not really
It's not
creating.
organic.
It's basically a la carte. It's taking all these different things from people who actually make music
Yeah.
and creating an amalgamation
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
of all of these different styles and lyrics,
And
and coming up with something that
and
is
it's. I mean,
kind of different,
yeah.
or a representation of what you're asking for.
Yeah, and there is there is an imperfection that I desire
Hmm.
from human organically made music.
Sure.
Like, it's not, I mean, the lyrics might be funny sounding, or like there is a perfection that
Hmm.
comes with AI generated anything that you
I
know
mean, it's getting
it's
there.
getting
It's
there.
getting
It's
there.
getting there. Obviously, we're not
But
looking at like 5 fingers and
yeah,
or seven, 8 fingers on one hand anymore.
yeah,
Like,
they are. But here's it's just, you might as well get the real thing. I mean, like, it's like, and as much of an advocate as I am for, like, using AI in healthy ways, like, it's really just an imitation of what people are doing already, you know. Um,
exactly.
and so, like that, but that's why I say, like, I would never trade off, like,
Sure.
worship music. But sometimes I'm like, you know what? Sometimes what you want to hear doesn't exist yet, and sometimes you want to hear, like, it, just so you can have a proof of concept. Like, as a songwriter, sometimes I would put in, like, an idea that I have that's not out there yet, that
Sure.
I haven't heard, and maybe that inspires you to actually create the thing that doesn't exist, you know?
I
But
mean,
I
we
don't
can go
know.
back and forth about it.
I
I
don't know.
just, I want people who are designed to be musicians, singers, songwriters, like to be courageous and put their stuff out there and be bold
Hmm.
and like don't be afraid to make mistakes in
Yeah.
that like look at my album
Hmm.
or don't listen to my album from my
Hmm.
band from back in the day. Like there's mistakes in that and I'm like, oh, I could go back and wish I could do it all over again in a different way. That's a whole other conversation.
Hmm.
But like if AI music existed when I put that out, I would be like, what am I doing here? Like, what's the point?
Yeah, and I think that too. Like anything, like sometimes you need to take a break from it. Like don't depend on it so much to where it's your daily bread.
Yeah.
Like sometimes it's good to be like, you know what? I've been listening to a lot of AI stuff now, or making a lot of things with AI. Let me do this organically
Yeah.
because the thing is, AI can trick you and make you think that you're better than what you are, and like you try
There's that part of it. And
to.
I think AI takes, so it goes back to the start of the conversation of like community. Like
Like
so much
why?
of art is collaborative.
Why toil over this when I can get it in 5? It's the convenience and like, but it's and I think for me the reason why I'm like, oh yeah, I don't have a problem with AI because I know the kind of person I am. Like I don't have a problem taking the long way. Like
Sure.
I will on purpose. Like that's why I make pour over coffee
Yeah.
instead of
Take a
like
time
because I
with
like
it.
to take my time. That's why I like cooking because it forces me to slow down.
Right.
So you almost have to kind of engage with who you are as a person. Like, and if you know that, like, oh, I got a tendency, like, I kind of like thrive or not thrive, but I would prefer something that's quick and convenient over something that is a slow cooking
Right. It's a
process,
process.
because AI is instant,
It's instant,
and
it's
if,
quick and it's
yeah,
convenient. But like I was saying,
but
like
quick isn't always
it's
best.
not always the best. I think human collaboration produces the best of things,
Hmm.
the best types of creations.
Hmm.
And like it gets messy. Like it's not gonna come out the way you want it to. Someone
Hmm.
might say something that's crazy until you're like, or somebody might swap down. Like sometimes when we were writing music, when you're writing music with a band, oh my goodness, you're
Yeah.
just like, bruh, like
Yeah, because you always have to contend with the ideas and
of
thoughts of others,
others. And that's not
which
a
is beautiful.
It's exactly. It's hard. It's
Hmm.
hard work, but it's work that's like I think is worth it. And I
Yeah.
think using AI for stuff like that like takes that away from you.
Yeah.
You
And I
lose
agree.
that skill of
Hmm.
collaboration.
I agree.
So yeah, but anyway, so yeah, like
Yeah.
there's a whole justice aspect of AI that comes into play as well, like people's jobs being like, on the chopping block because AI can do it now, and
Hmm.
and will eventually be able to do it in many more jobs, and then
Hmm.
like idea of data centers being
Yeah.
put in black, brown, and poor communities,
Hmm.
like completely making catastrophes of their of the environment
Yeah.
and the economic structures in those areas. And like there's a whole justice aspect to technology that we I mean, because we're almost at an hour of chatting about this, but
Yeah.
like there's a whole justice aspect of it that we haven't really even gotten to really touch on.
Yeah.
But because that's on a more macro level.
Yeah. And
um
man, it's so convicting.
it is, I
Oh,
mean,
yeah. I
same.
mean, like, yeah, because it's like, yeah, man, the convenience, man, and it's just
I mean, even when
we might have to make a part two.
we might have that because like yeah, like even
Yeah.
like our investments, like anybody who has a 401k at a retirement fund,
Hmm.
like your retirement fund is probably in one of these tech companies that's building these data
100%.
centers out, and you're just like, like
Hmm.
what do we do with that? Like what kind of boundary do you put up in place? Like what kind of
Yeah.
options are there? I mean, you can talk to your financial advisor. I'm sure there is something like that, but who knows? But
Yeah.
you have to be so intentional. And
It's the
so
convenience of not having to see it,
right,
right? Like I
right.
guarantee if we lived in some of these communities that are directly impacted by AI use, we would probably feel differently,
Right,
you know.
exactly.
Um, and that speaks to an even deeper issue,
Mhm.
with any of the decisions that we make, how it affects others.
Mm.
Once we know how it affects others, then what? You
Yeah,
know,
like how are you changing,
like
you know?
how are we changing? Do we change? Do we care? And if
Yeah.
we say we care, and if you're not willing to change your relationship with the technology, can you at least change your relationship with the people who make the technology?
Look,
Like,
talk about it.
um, yeah. So it gets deep, man, and and that's one form of technology, right? Like that we've
It's just
talked
one
about.
aspect.
It's just one
And here we
aspect.
are talking about like the impacts, both negatively and positively,
Hmm.
of technology on a technological platform. Like,
Right. So like regardless of
excuse me,
what the technology is, it's like we have to contend with our relationship with it
constantly.
constantly,
So
and don't just set it and forget it. Like self-evaluate. Like, is this still good for me? Is this still helping me? Is this
right.
still like, even if it's helping me and it's good for me,
Mm-hmm.
does what it gives to me outweigh the damage that it could be doing to
Doing to
others?
others. Yeah.
You know,
So maybe that's some takeaways that we can, like, some call to action that we can provide for
mhm,
folks. Like maybe this week you're or this weekend you're taking an inventory. Like
yeah,
how intertwined am I with different technology that I engage with on a day-to-day basis?
yeah.
Like how mm,
Am I an active consumer or a passive one?
yeah.
Right? Am I just kind of using it, not really thinking about the implications of the effects of it on my body,
Mm-hmm.
on my peace, on my
Yeah.
home, on others?
Yeah.
Or am I actively thinking about these things and adjusting accordingly?
Right, exactly. Yeah, so yeah, take an inventory and then think about ways that you can put boundaries in place for your life. Like maybe it's, one weekend a month, I'm
Hmm.
going to do a
Yeah,
disconnect to
disconnect to reconnect.
reconnect
Hmm.
with yourself. If you're single, I think you could still do stuff like that,
Absolutely.
or with your spouse, or with as a family. Like,
Hmm.
so maybe it's once a month. You say every first weekend of the month, this is what we're gonna do.
Right.
Or
If you can have your phone outside of your room, like, just, what, at the end of the day, I'm gonna I'm gonna put my phone on the charger station and get a manual alarm clock, so
yeah,
that the first thing I'm doing is not just scrolling the interwebs.
right.
Like, I think that's a practical way to start to create boundaries as
Mm-hmm.
well. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, man, I think we all have to, like just living in this time that
Yeah.
we call now. um, we all have to, take these types of inventories
Yeah.
and
Thinking about our
yeah,
relationship with technology.
mm-hmm,
Yeah.
yeah,
So yeah, like yeah, first call to action, take inventory. Second to that, like what kind of boundaries can you put in place for yourself or your family that will cultivate a healthier relationship with technology? And I always say last but not least, if you have found after you've done all those things that you are truly addicted to these things,
mm-hmm,
I want to encourage you with scripture that tells us that whom the sun sets free
yeah,
is truly free indeed.
mm-hmm,
Like the power that we have with the Holy Spirit that indwells us,
mm-hmm,
like we are capable of breaking free from these addictions that we might have to technology.
yeah,
So I hope to, like, we'll probably still talk about some of these things in the lunchroom. I don't know, but
yeah.
and we hope to see you guys again next weekend or next week as we continue our conversation with the relationships that we have with different aspects of life.
Yeah, man. This has been Umbrella of
Umbrella of
Mercy.
Mercy.
Can't wait to see you next time. Bye.